Well, it's both a privilege but also a difficult task to try and fit 87 years of a life into a few pages. Daphne Joyce Jensen, a beautiful lady, our mum. Firstly, on behalf of our family, I want to thank you all for being here to support us in the sad loss of our mum, a mother, a grandmother and a great-grandmother. At times like this, we often struggle to understand all the complexities of life and might ask a lot of questions as to why certain things happen. I guess that's somewhat understandable since we're feeling the raw pain of losing someone so special and close to us, and we just want some answers. Well, I know in response to this, Mum would be saying to every one of us, listen now, it'll be okay. Take heart, be a soldier. You know I have loved you and cared for you, but my time has come to leave you, to go to be with my Lord in his eternal home. You know, life is likeable. It has both beginning and an end. And in between are all the things we do and say that form the character of who we are and what we leave as a legacy to this world. Let me give you a small insight into a summary of the chapters of the book of the life of our mum. To read you the whole story of Mum's incredible life would take a lifetime, and I know that some of you will have your own special memories that are perhaps only known to you. So please forgive me if I leave out some pages of Mum's story that aren't read. Mum was born on the 10th of February 1927, the youngest of 6 children to George and Lucy Woodall. Her early years were spent at Peneen, where she grew up in a happy home with Christian parents who were wonderful mentors for her life values and principles, and I'm quite sure also fostered her real love for horses. As her dad was heavily involved in the trotting scene, naturally Mum became a big part of this and rode the horses at major trotting events all over the country. I fondly remember her talking about their champion stallions, King Broad, and their champion filly, Sweet Sound, and the joy in her voice when she told us the stories of all their outings and successes. You'll notice a photo of Mum at a young age on King Broad. Horses were so much a part of Mum's life, they even involved in her schooling, and she used to ride a horse from home to school at Peneen Village. During his schooling years, from reports it seemed that Mum excelled in all that she did and was an acclaimed swimmer and athletics champion in the school programs. I suspect the determination that we all saw throughout her life was a big part of her success in those early years of life, and I'm also sure led to her good stead, placed her in good stead for her life's journey. We skip forward a few chapters and Mum is starting work at the Peanut Marketing Board. On more than one occasion, if you ever complained about how little you earned or how tough it was, she could be heard saying, well, I only got 18 and sixpence a week, so stop complaining and do the best with what you have. More years of work rolled by with the growing experience of life. There were stories of her riding her brother Ray's motorbikes and enjoying the thrill, as well as social interaction in the local community. It must have been through those social activities that she met this handsome young fellow by the name of Andy Jensen. Maybe it was the attraction of the army uniform. The most thrilling chapter of this story is about to unfold, one of marriage and the creation of the next generation. Mum was married to Andrew Bannerman Denson on the 14th of June 1947, here in Kingaroy. And soon after they moved to Biloela to farm in the Callide area. Life was hard on the farm, but there was love and happiness that saw them through their struggles as they commenced their early farming activities. I recall Mum talking about their first home. That was, as she affectionately called it, the bag house. Being a timber frame with new roofing on provided by her father, but no walls and a dirt floor. So old corn bags were soaked in cement, nailed to the frames to create the walls, hence the name, the bag house. Tough times, but they were happy. Seven children were born to Mum and Dad. Sadly, the first, Lynette, was stillborn, followed by Lorraine, Terry, myself, Jenny, Lyndall and Wayne. In these years of raising children, the family home is now on the farm opposite the railway line, just along the Callide siding near Biloela. For those of the younger generation here today, can you imagine a house with a toilet down the backyard and a little building known as the outhouse, no electricity and a kerosene fridge? But the basics of life existed, and as a family, even though there were the normal ups and downs, we were happy. During these years, Mum was actively involved in the local community, CWA and church as a Sunday school teacher. Chapter of consolidation next unfolds. Mum and Dad had a desire to return to the Kingaroy area, and the next adventure of farming was in the rural area around the early 60s. But after luring back to Biloela saw us as a family moved back to farm at Mount Murchison. Sadly, after several years of drought, the family finally moved back to the Kingaroy area in 1966. With all the children grown and left home, Mum and Dad moved to town, and Mum was back working at the peanut board office as the growers clerk. Many a peanut farmer would certainly attest to Mum's great memory and her knowledge and proficiency in all her dealings with them. Just ask others who worked there at the time. When farmers came in, they only ever wanted to talk to Mrs. J, as she was called. This time of life was also dedicated to the ever-growing family of grandchildren, as well as involvement in community groups like South Burnett Show Society, Senior Citizens Association, and others, and she also served the community as a JP. The life dream of retirement commenced in the 1990s, and a number of camping bus tours were undertaken throughout the outback and central Australia, with many new friends being made. The retirement plans were cut short with the passing of Dad in November 2000, but Mum soldiered on, continuing to live on her own on the farm until a deterioration in health saw her moved into a Rana nursing home in 2007, where she has been a resident ever since. Although her physical ability deteriorated over the years, her memory always remained strong right up to the end, and many staff at Arana came to love her accepting, non-complaining nature, and I might add quick wit at times. I know Mum will be well remembered by Arana staff, and I know that she would want me to say thank you to those who treated her with respect and dignity, and I hope that she has been an influence on your lives also. Now we come to the last page, and it might seem that the book is all but finished, but this is only in regards to this life here on earth. We know that Mum had her faith in our Lord, and it was now his turn to say, now listen, this part of your journey is This part of your journey is finished, good and faithful servant. Come home now and rest with me here in eternity. So was Mum's life really only about the happenings and events that lie between the front and back covers of our book of life? We know this is not the case, as the two covers only define the earthly part of the journey, with the overall journey resting in the promise of God that life and eternity for Mum has only just begun. I'm sure that each of you who knew Mum will be able to recall something she did or said that had an impact on your lives. I know I certainly can, and I'd like to relate one. In my early teens, when I was having difficulty doing something, and I said it was all too hard and I just couldn't do it, I'll always remember Mum sitting me down and saying those special words, "Now listen." And you know, if Mum said those words, then you better listen. She said, "You can achieve anything you want to in life, but you have to be prepared to put in the effort, do the hard work, and you may have to make some sacrifices, but don't ever say you cannot do something." A great wisdom of simple words, well spoken. So thank you, Mum, from all of us for being our Mum, for all the sacrifices you made for us, for the encouragement always given, for believing in us when maybe we didn't believe in ourselves, and for enduring love always provided, even when we made mistakes along the way. We all love you, Mum, and say farewell until we meet again. Daphne Joyce Jensen, a beautiful lady, our Mum.